morning, pretties. Happy Friday. It is time for coffee chat, and I'm coming to you makeup free. So you know what that means. That's right, we're doing makeup together, yay. So grab a hot cup of coffee, head to your bathroom, and let's do some makeup. So I realized yesterday morning that I had no coffee chat topic this week. Yay. I have been super busy all week. I'm working on the workwear capsule wardrobe, and it's a year-round capsule. So as you can imagine, it's a little more intensive than just doing seasonal capsules. So I've been working on those outfit formulas all week, and I realized, okay, I've got to come up with a coffee chat. And some weeks they're really profound and deep and prolific and have all this great information in them. And then other weeks, they're just fun and frivolous. And that's what this week's gonna be. So anyway, I wanna show you some of the makeup swaps that I have made recently. So I know that I do makeup with you once every quarter or so, I don't know. But this time I wanted to show you a couple of things I'm doing differently, because I find that during the pandemic, I have been wearing makeup most days, which yay, this is a huge win. And I do it just for me because it makes me feel good when I look in the mirror and see that I have my makeup on. And there's some days that I'm just not feeling it at all. And I throw on the yoga pants and the sweatshirt, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. It's 5 minutes of my day, and it makes me feel so much better after I do it. So I have been playing around a little bit more with makeup than I had in previous years. And if you've been around here for a while, you already know that I got stuck in like a major makeup rut a few years back. I always tell the story about how I was watching Golden Girls one day. I love Golden Girls. And I love Betty White. And anyway, Betty White had on this navy eyeliner and this heavy eye makeup. And I was like, oh my gosh, this was almost 30 years ago, and my makeup looks a lot like hers, so something needs to change. So I started to do a little bit of research, watching some YouTube videos, and just really dug in, even as going as far as like hiring a makeup artist to work with to help me to switch up my look a little bit, try out some new products and some new application techniques. And all of that I boiled down and put into the Bust Out of the Makeup Rut course, which I know a lot of you have because I hear you talking about it here. And it was, you know, a really great way for me to kind of share what I was learning about skincare and the new application techniques. And especially if you're in a rut, then you might find this really helpful. I'll put a link to it in the caption if you guys want to check it out. But anyway, let's consider what I'm going to do today kind of an add-on to the Bust Out of the Makeup Rut course, because these are things that I've switched up since then and have just been kind of playing around with and trying out. And I'll share some of the products with you today. A lot of the stuff that I use is from IT Cosmetics. You guys are familiar with this brand. I talk about it all the time. And I really just truly love their products. They're not paying me to say this at all, but they have given me free products. So I am just being in full disclosure on that, but I will be using a lot of their products today. You can do these same techniques. This is just like outfit formulas. You can do the same techniques and you can use similar products. You don't have to use IT Cosmetics. Maybe this is out of your budget, or they don't work well for your skin, or whatever. It doesn't matter. You can take these principles and concepts and definitely apply them with whatever makeup you're using. That's why I'm encouraging you to go ahead and take your phone or your laptop or wherever you're watching me and go into your bathroom, because we can definitely do this together. So first things first, we're gonna start with a clean, dry face, obviously, moisturized. I already did all that stuff so that I can just kind of get started. That's sort of like prepping the canvas. You can apply a primer if you would like to. I'm not gonna be using a primer today. For everyday makeup, I don't use a primer anymore. I think it's just because it's kind of an unnecessary step for me. I feel like the products that I use go on pretty smoothly and I don't have any application issues with them. But if you do want to smooth out your complexion a little bit, then you can definitely put a primer on first. But I'm just going to start with first things first, my foundation. And the one that I use is IT Cosmetics CC Plus Illumination Foundation. And the color that I'm using is neutral medium. My skin tends to go a little bit red. I've got my birthmark between my eyes that flares up and gets super, super red. You know, I've got some redness around my nose. This sort of tones down that redness for me because it's got a little bit of a yellow undertone to it. So that definitely helps out. And I put this on with a sponge. You can do it with your fingers. You can do it with a foundation brush. I'm a creature of habit, which is why I'm trying to try new techniques. But anyway, I just put it on my little round sponge, get my hair pulled back here, and I start with the birthmark and sort of work my way out. You know, I've heard differing opinions on how you should apply foundation. Most Makeup artists agree that you start in the middle and kind of blend your way out. For me, that makes sense because all of my redness tends to happen in my T-zone. So if I start in the middle and blend out, then I know that I'm gonna get that redness tackled and taken care of. I'm gonna go up under my eyes. And yes, I apply foundation on my lids too, just to kind of get everything smoothed out. This is a CC Plus cream, but it does have really decent coverage. So it has buildable coverage built into it. It's moisturizing. It has all kinds of skin loving ingredients, which is why I love it. Plus it has the SPF of 50 plus built in. And in Texas, the sun shines like all year long. So that's important for me to have something that's gonna give me that protection. All right. So on a normal day, I would stop there. Probably apply a little bit of a translucent powder to kind of set things right in here and in my oilier zones. But today, because we're swapping and switching things up, one step that I've been skipping during the pandemic is I haven't really been doing much concealer, and I have, you know, little dark circles under my eyes and the redness. So just dot a little bit. I'm using the concealer in this It Cosmetics It Girl Beauty book. You can see I got all kinds of cool little things in there. And up here in this section, you've got your 3 different concealers. I'm doing the Fair Light one right now because I want it to be a little bit of brightening, especially under my eyes. And we're gonna take that up so it kind of draws the eye up. And then I'm gonna definitely tap some into this area where I've got this redness going on. And I need a little bit more there. It's hard because I see things in the mirror that I don't see in the phone. And I see things in the phone that I don't see in the mirror. So I'm gonna look in the mirror right now and get all those little red spots covered. And the other thing is, like, it looks way better in the mirror than it does in the phone. So just kind of blend all that. You can use your fingers, you can use a beauty blender sponge, you can use a brush like I'm doing, but just kind of blend that all in. And that just brightens up that little under eye area. All right. Next step is I'm gonna apply a little bit of a translucent setting powder, which we've got here. I think this is the, I want to say it's the Bye Bye Pores that they have in this kit. I'm not positive, but I'm just gonna dust a little bit of that in the T-zone area and a little bit over my eyes too, just to kind of set that concealer. All right, ta-da! The canvas is prepped. Next step is I'm gonna apply some bronzer. And yes, I use bronzer in winter. Everybody always asks me that, like, why do you use bronzer in winter? Well, I just like to have a little bit of color. I don't go overboard with it. I'm gonna be using the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores bronzer in this kit. And you can see it's kind of a gradient bronzer. It's got a lighter one at the top and then a darker one at the bottom. So you can choose your colors or you can blend them together. I'm gonna go with the lighter top third of this and just apply it where the sun would naturally hit. So up here along my hairline. And down the bridge of my nose. Do a little bit of jaw contouring. And last but not least, I do a little swipe under my cheekbones. I like this bronzer because it doesn't go on super heavy. So it's buildable if you want to add a little bit more. And I think in the summer months, that'll come in super handy. So you can see that just gives a nice little glow. Doesn't make me look as pale. Okay, so that's it for bronzer. Next up, we are gonna go to the cheeks. And this is the thing that I tried this week. I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta share this. Because I hadn't done it before. And I've been seeing all these little videos pop up on Facebook because I've been shopping for makeup, of course, and Facebook knows that, for gel colors and blush sticks. I'm normally a powder blush girl, so I would typically skip over to this step and do the Bye Bye Pores blush and show you that. But today I'm gonna show you something that I'm trying out, and I'm actually really liking it because it's super natural looking. And since I've been, working from home, never leaving the house, I've been keeping my makeup really light and natural. And I really just love the flush that this gives. But this is one of the nude sticks, yes, nude sticks that I got in this combo. It's called the Posh Nudes Eye and Lip 2-piece set. And there is a color in here for eyes and a color for lips. And we're gonna be doing the lip and cheek color. And I got this at Nordstrom. I think it was like 12 bucks. It was super cheap. And the reason I got it was because I wanted to qualify for free shipping or a free gift card or something. And I needed to add something cheap. So I'm like, okay, I'll get this, whatever. All right, so I just started doing this yesterday and I've been playing around with it, but you just kind of tap that on the cheek. I know it looks crazy right now. And those of you who use cream blushes are already fully familiar with doing this, but I found that it took a little bit of playing around with yesterday. So you just kind of put it on there and then use your finger to blend it in. And it just gives you a nice natural flush. It's not powdery or cakey like powder blushes can be, which I've found to be problematic. See that? I love it. It even shows up well on my phone. All right, and the reason that I decided to try this was because not only the videos that tempted me, but also because my cheeks are really dry and I have little dry patches on each of them. And whenever I was doing the powder blush, it just kind of made it even more obvious that I had those dry patches. All right, so there we go. I love it. Okay, so that's another thing that I'm doing a little bit differently these days is just putting the blush on with a blush stick instead of the powder blush. Next up, in this same little kit, we're gonna use the eye stick, which this is a really pretty kind of golden color eye stick. And I was just using it as a highlight in the corners and the lower lash line. But again, playing around yesterday, I discovered that I could use this all over my eyelid and in the corner and extend it a little bit into that lower lash line. And you can see it just kind of gives that brightening look on that eye. Go ahead and do the other side. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but like my shower's dripping. I have it turned off. It's really weird. Okay. Excuse me. There we go. So you can see that color on my lids. And then if you want to finish that off, I'm going back to my beauty book here. And I'm going to choose a couple of colors just to kind of extend up. This is Festive in the beauty book. Just a nice, pretty, peachy shade. All right, and then I'm gonna put a little bit of Hot Toddy, which is this brown shade down here on the bottom. This one's Festive up here. So we're gonna put a little bit of that into the crease and blend it. On both eyes. And Fizz is just a really light white color. I'm gonna put a little tiny bit of that up on the brow bone. As a highlight. There we go. Okay, so now I'm gonna line my eyes. And you all know that this is something that I changed up from liquid eyeliners and eye pencils over the past few years, and I've been doing the shadows for liners. So in this, perfect, we've got Superhero eyeliner, powder kind, and I'm gonna go ahead and put that on my upper lid. And feel free to fast forward 2 times if you are not wanting to watch this because it's in real time. Okay. And I only line the outer third of my eye now. I had stopped lining my lower lids completely, then I started again, and now I'm only doing the outer third, so totally up to you. Play around with it. See what works best for you. Take pictures. At first I felt really naked when I stopped wearing lower liner. Then I got really used to it, and then I went back to it again, so give yourself some lenience and some leeway. Okay, so the next thing I'm switching up is I used to do the thicker brow pencil, but I've been using Brow Power Micro Pencil for my brows recently. Yeah, that end doesn't work. We need the brush. So I'm gonna brush my brows up, and then I just kind of use this to fill in and shape any of the little areas where it's a little bit thin. I do have my brows microbladed, full disclaimer, which you can look up that process on the blog if you want to and see. Oh, check it out and learn all about it. It was painful, I'm not gonna lie. But I've had it done for a couple years now, and it has been life-changing. All right. So the reason I like this pencil is because you can actually draw on the tiniest little individual hairs, and it gives me a lot more control. So when my brows are thinner and they're shaped up properly, that makes a big difference. When they're thicker and unruly, then I'm not as... Sorry about that, technical difficulties called I ran out of iCloud storage. All right, so I deleted some old apps and here we go again. So I'm done with my brows. Now the next thing that I've changed up over the years is I don't wear mascara anymore. I just put on my false lashes. For those of you that are scared by this, the magnetic lashes are definitely probably an easier option, but I do the old-fashioned glue-on lashes. And these are the Kiss lashes, number 11. I get them at Walgreens. They're super easy to apply simply because I do it every single day, and I feel like I'm a pro now, and watch me screw up because I'm on camera, because that always happens. All right, there they go. But they're really easy. I just put them on with my tweezers, a little bit of glue on them. You just trim them a little bit if your eyes are smaller like mine are, so that they fit. And just run a little bead of glue along the top of them. These suckers will stay on all day long. They're easy to pull off. They don't hurt. The lash glue that I'm using is called Duo. And I want to say that I bought it at Walgreens too. There you go. They're not perfect, but they're on. In about the same amount of time that it would take me to put on mascara. Okay, that one's not on right. I told you, every time I do things on camera, I mess up. It's all good, you're forgiving. That's why you're here, because you're so kind to me and each other, and I love that. And all the craziness of this past year, this group has been such a source of light and love, and I want to thank you for that. Okay, eyelashes are done. Final thing that I'm doing differently, and this is kind of crazy, but it's okay. I'm wearing bright lipstick around the house. Why not? I wear a mask all day, it's covered up when I go out, but it just makes me feel happy to look in the mirror and see a bright lip. So this is the Pillow Lip Solid Serum from IT Cosmetics. The color is called Moment, which is kind of like a deep red wine color. And I like this because it's moisturizing. It's not goopy, so it doesn't rub off on my mask. And that's it. Yay, we did makeup together. All right, it is your turn. I want to hear from you in the comments. What are some new products that you're loving? Please share them with the other pretties in the group. And do you have some new makeup application techniques that you'd like to share with us? Believe me, I'm not the expert. So please feel free to share. I hope you all have an awesome weekend, and thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.